Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is not the day to be recording a voiceover. I've got a baby sleeping on me, the dogs are running right around the house because they've just had a shave and a bath, which always makes them super hyper. And we also have Storm Eunice running riot outside. I hope you're all staying safe and keeping snuggled inside. But today I thought I would show you some paints that my lovely friends over at Arteza very kindly gifted me this month. You all know that I love painting on wood, little wooden slices, but usually I use gouache. Now I started using gouache with Arteza, and I love gouache, but something I noticed when it comes to painting my wooden slices and anything that I need to glaze afterwards, there's always that fear of, is my varnish going to smudge the hell out of this finished piece? And it always fills me with anxiety. Obviously this isn't going to happen with acrylic, so I thought I would see how I get on with acrylic. Just for your reference as well, I get asked this question all the time. The varnish that I use with my wooden slices and anything ceramic is a spray matte varnish, so it's a nice spray, and I do lots and lots of light layers with it, like a mist, let it dry and then put another layer on, and things don't smudge ever, but there's still that anxiety in the back of my head if I'm too heavy handed with it or something, because obviously gouache reactivates with moisture, whereas that doesn't happen with acrylics. So let's have a look at these. So I got sent a big box of these. It's the big box of 60, and they also sent me a box of the big size tubes of the metallics, and you can see these swatched into my art journal as well. So I like to always have a bit of a play when it comes to a new medium. I've not used acrylic paint since I was at sixth form, which is a bit like art college, I suppose. As always with Arteza, the range of colours that you get in a box is incredible, and it's why they're still one of my favourite art brands. I think they are super affordable as well, so if you are thinking about venturing into a new medium but you're a bit hesitant about spending the money, because we all have that fear, don't we, of spending lots and lots of money on these beautiful art supplies and then having the fear of actually using them and wasting them. So with Arteza, one of my firm beliefs with this brand is that you get a bit of everything with it. You get lots and lots of colour choices, you get some metallics in there thrown in, there's a huge range, and you also don't break the bank by testing out a new medium. Some of them are not as opaque as others, but that's okay with me. I always also add a teeny drop of water when working with acrylics, just because I don't personally like how thick they are, but I do love the end result of acrylics, so I find that just adding a teeny drop of water, literally just a paintbrush droplet, is more than enough. And these colours also blend beautifully, which you will see on the wooden slice that I do after I've had a bit of a play around in my sketchbook. So just for transparency, I also do have some affiliate links down below, so if you do want to try out these products for yourself, you can shop via my links and I will get a small cut commission from those purchases at no additional cost to you, and it just helps out my channel. But as always, thank you Arteza for gifting me these products. They were beautiful, and I can't wait to get some more use out of them going forward this year. So it ties in quite nicely with what I wanted to talk about in this video, and that is sustainability going forward with my business and my artwork. And something I've noticed since the start of last year mainly, something I spoke about a lot last year as well, was burnout. And I felt like I constantly had this feeling of burnout, and no matter what I did, I couldn't seem to shift that exhaustion. And now obviously I gave birth at the end of December as well. I've got a beautiful little boy with me right now, and it's hitting me more than ever that some things need to change within my small business, otherwise it's just not going to work. And it's a really scary time in my head. I am feeling the fear. I have obviously never done this before, and thinking about how to navigate being a new mum, motherhood, parenthood, whilst also trying to run a small business eventually when I come back. I still don't know when that's going to be. There's a lot going around in my head right now that I feel like I need to figure out, but I want to take the lessons that I learned last year and change some things this year when I come back, because some things just weren't sustainable. And I'm also learning a lot about how we consume art at the moment and how that fits into sustainability. It's actually a bit heartbreaking at times if I think about various things too much. It is really frustrating. I think a lot of us are feeling the frustration right now, especially with trying to grow our brands and maintain some sort of income with it. It can be, it is really, really scary for all of us, I think. Sustainability also means where I spend my time, and I know a lot of you have heard this from me before, but I do strongly believe in energy being a currency and being mindful of where we spend it. And there are just various platforms right now as well that I am just not loving, Instagram being one of them. I am so at my wit's end with Instagram. I think a lot of us are, but I have over the last few months strongly considered actually leaving Instagram and channeling my energies and efforts elsewhere. YouTube, for example, it could mean more videos on YouTube instead, rather than spending so much time wondering about, Instagram, the thing with Instagram is it feels like we're constantly having to learn new things, and I don't know whether it's because, I'm getting a bit older now. I just can't seem to get to grips with especially learning new things like reels and how to do successful reels and catchy reels, and it just feels like you learn one thing with Instagram and then you've got to learn another thing. And it's a constant evolution, which, evolution is good, but when it comes to Instagram, it feels like it's making it really, really difficult. And obviously it's an app, and there's algorithms which are designed to make you stay on the app for as long as possible. That just doesn't sit right with me anymore. I don't want to fall into that trap. We've got some grunting going on in the background. Maybe a nappy's being filled, who knows? I've just changed that, so probably. By the way, the boy is now in his cloth nappies. That's totally irrelevant, but I just thought I'd let you know because I had some questions on my last video. Is he in his cloth nappies yet? Yes, he is. He fit in them this week and it's amazing. I'm loving them so far. But yeah, just trying to work out where to channel my energy, because last year was horrendous. Now, obviously I was also growing a child in secret, and I am taking that into consideration as well, just how exhausting last year was, but even the year before. And I think the P word, the big panini, has had a lot to do with that, and I've noticed people's spending habits changing, and just from conversations with other small businesses and things, just trying to riddle it all out, trying to adapt to survive, because I feel that is a big this is going to be my channel going forward, is a gurgly baby in the background. Just trying to adapt to survive, I think, is it's a reality for a lot of artists. And there's a book that I'm reading at the moment, I will link it down below, but it's called The Death of the Artist, and it was recommended by Holly Exley in one of her videos, actually as well, talking about sustainability and how we consume art and how it's totally changed over the years. And it's really sad when you stop and think about it. But this book is also helping me to understand more on a bit of a deeper level just how things have changed, and what we can be doing to sort of help ourselves in this situation. I think as well, going forward, some of the products that I sell in my shop are also going to change. There's been some things that I've tried them and then they've been sat in my studio just not selling, and I absolutely hate them. I've got a drawer actually full of seconds and stuff that I have discontinued. And when I open my shop again later in the year, I think I really want to give my website a bit of TLC, and what I'm actually doing right now is focusing on my portfolio, because I would absolutely love to have a children's book project at one point. I think that's a lot of illustrators' dream, is to do a children's book of some sort. But at the moment I'm really trying to think about streamlining as well. So rather than dip my fingers in too many pies, which is something product wise I've always done that, I've thought, I'll try this or try this or try this, and I think I really need to focus on actually streamlining it and making it more of a what do people think about when they think of my brand, rather than a bit of everything. And I think going forward the fabrics are definitely going to stay. I think they've definitely become a staple as part of my business, and I would love to make some more stuff going forward with those as well. Fabric has been a real learning curve for me, and I've absolutely loved, and I mean loved, learning more about sewing, using my sewing machine, and seeing all of you using your pouches for various things, whether it's your art supplies or your makeup or your medical supplies. Like, they are the perfect size for EpiPens, and it makes me so happy that you are able to use them that way. Some of you use them as nappy sacks, like nappy sack bags, or you just pop your little ones like snacks in there and stuff. It's just so lovely to see. But fabrics are definitely going to stay, and I would love to do more greeting cards and wrapping paper, just stationery based stuff. I've also been having this conversation a lot with my patrons over the last few months, and things on my Patreon page have also changed, because I noticed that if we're talking sustainability, my energies on Patreon were also going into places where I don't think people were like really enjoying them. So at the moment I'm in the process of asking for more feedback around that, like what are you enjoying, what would you like to see more of, what don't you enjoy so much. Like, as much as I like doing colouring pages, I just don't know if they are the direction that I want my brand to go in still. I would much rather produce something like printable journal embellishments, which is something that has been new to my Patreon page this year. But phone screensavers and things like that, just not my thing anymore. I'd much rather be able to provide something a bit more valuable, that's also the best for my time as well. So definitely more quality over quantity. But I think it's just a habit thing, especially for me right now. I just feel like I'm in this routine and system that I've had for a few years, and now I just want to break out of that. But I would be lying if I said that the idea of returning to work with so much uncertainty and like not knowing how that's going to look with a little one and stuff like that, it's just something that's been going around my head. I've just been really unhappy with various business bits and pieces over a few months, and I think now is the time whilst I'm trying to whilst I'm having a break, but also planning on coming back and having probably the freshest slate that I've had in a long time, because I've never really had an opportunity, you could call it, to completely just shut down and be forced away from work, because you all know what I'm like. I really struggle with taking time off. I'm struggling with it right now. I really miss working, but I'm also super grateful of how present that I'm able to be with my baby boy. But I thought whilst I'm planning on when to return, how to return, what to return with, it was a really good time to reflect on the things that have been troubling me over the past few months, and now's as good a time as ever to put some new changes in place, because I've been really unhappy with a few things, but just have never really had the opportunity or the courage, I suppose, to actually do something about it, because change can be scary. I also wanted to ask if any of you, how you navigate changes in your business. Do you also work from home whilst having a little one around? How do you manage that? I would love to hear your stories and experiences. And also, just while we're here, thank you so much for your love and support on my last video, especially around the feeding issues that I spoke about. It was amazing, unfortunate that we had to connect in such a sad way, but still amazing that we were able to and come together and support each other with that. So I really appreciate it, thank you. So I'm going to go now, but I hope you enjoyed my little shroom painting on a wooden slice. Over the next few months I will be painting more of these and building up a bit of a stash. That is something that I would love to bring to my shop, is more original art. So prints are going to stay, but I would love to do more original art, so slices, paintings, illustrations. So if you liked this one, keep an eye out for it, and I will be doing lots more as well in the future. Thank you again to Arteza for making this video possible, and I'll be back soon.